Okay. Financial Secretary, Comptroller of Customs and his management team, the CEO of DASPA, the media. Special good morning to all of you. First, seeing that this is my first maybe live interview or session, I would like to extend sympathies to all who lost relatives, friends, and properties during the passage of Hurricane Maria. Now, my purpose here this morning is to speak to the recent cabinet decisions which granted concessions on disaster relief supplies imported into Dominica, and also cabinet's approval of waivers on taxes and duties on all food and construction materials. One of these taxes that is exempted is value-added tax, or VAT as we call it. Therefore, the Inland Revenue Division has a role to play since we are responsible for the administration of the VAT Act. Now, Cabinet's decision to exempt VAT was made in accordance with the VAT Amendment Act number 12 of 2015. The Act gives Cabinet the authority to exempt from tax goods imported for the purpose of relief and rehabilitation during or within 6 months of the occurrence of a natural disaster. It is important to note the following. Concessions are on disaster relief supplies, and the Comptroller of Customs made mention of some, but I will really kind of repeat it because people would really like to know the items that are exempted or those that are relief supplies items. These include foodstuff, clothing, linen, mattress, toiletries, domestic refrigerators, domestic stoves, water pumps, generators not including or not requiring a license for importation. Comptroller make mention of the size, 20 kVA, anything under that will be exempt. Portable air conditioning units, chainsaws, and tarpaulins. Now, Cabinet decision is specific to VAT on commercial importation of food, and that excludes tobacco and alcohol. And also the waiver of import duties, taxes, and VAT is on commercial and non-commercial importation of a limited number of items that are specified in the Cabinet decisions. And these are mainly building materials as listed and explained by the Comptroller of Customs. Now, since the Cabinet decision became effective, the public have been asking whether they should pay VAT when they go to the retailers to purchase. And I should add, business people are still asking whether they should collect VAT. Well, the answer for both is yes. The exemption is granted only at the port of entry, and that is at the customs. They won't charge you VAT, import duties, etc. when you import. Now, anyone who imports the item specified in the Cabinet decision will not pay VAT, as I mentioned earlier, be it the individual who is not in business or the business person who imports for commercial activities. The business person or entity whose businesses are registered for VAT must charge VAT when these items are sold on the domestic market. Take note that I said businesses that are registered. Okay? So only people who are registered for VAT are required to charge VAT. The public has a right to ask to see the VAT registration certificate of any business person if that person or business charges VAT. In fact, Any VAT registrant must display a VAT certificate of registration in a conspicuous place at the business location that all customers can see. So no one should say that their VAT certificate is at a different place. It is where they're conducting business is supposed to have that certificate. Okay? And we are aware that some people may have lost their certificate during the hurricane. And I mean, we expect that. Okay? So they may not have one. So what we are calling on for all business persons to approach us for a replacement certificate, because we do not want people who are not registered to be charging customers value-added tax. Now, the main issue arising from the non-payment of VAT on imports is that customers and consumers expect to pay less for what they purchase. Since no import duties are being charged at the port of entry, it is expected that the person who sells those goods should have a reduction in the cost of goods. Therefore, those items should be cheaper. Although such may be the case, no one can force the retailer to sell at a particular price. It is left for the business to be considerate and not take advantage of consumers. I am of the opinion that the intention of the concession is to give people the opportunity to rebuild with as much ease as possible. Okay, so that's without import duties. Goods are made cheaper that the ordinary person or every person who experience some disaster is able to recuperate. Okay? However, the advice from me is that you don't buy any item which is considered to be more expensive than its value. Now, while I am into my presentation, I would like to inform the public of some other revenue matters. As many are aware, the Inland Revenue continues to provide services to the public during our normal working hours. We started operations on the 2nd of October and we are operating full-time. Mondays 8 to 5 and the other days of the week 8 to 4. Okay? Our cashiers operate at the our usual time, which the customers and people coming in, the clients are accustomed to, and that is 8:30 to 3 on weekdays, excluding Mondays. We go 8:30 to 4 p.m. and continues during the so-called lunch hour. At Inland Revenue, we don't have any lunch hour anymore. Okay, so we operate full-time. Customers have been coming in to make their usual payments, such as VAT, PAYE or pay as you earn, income tax, licenses, which includes licenses for vehicles and drivers, firearms included, and many other payments. It is our intention at the Inland Revenue to visit our taxpayers to see how these taxpayers proceed with their operations, and for us to discuss relevant tax issues and certain matters affecting businesses Maria. We have given consideration to the waiver of penalties and interest to those who were able or those who were unable to make timely payments due to the hurricane. We also advise business people who have been suspended or who have suspended their business or ceased operation to inform the Inland Revenue in writing immediately. And finally, I would like to give special thanks to the staff of the Inland Revenue Division for the cleaning up effort. It was left to the staff to clean the department. The Barbados Regiment, who repaired the roof of the Inland Revenue Division building and also the ceiling. And finally, again, the IRD counterparts. I mean, we have counterparts over the across the region who express their sympathies and who were very interested in what was happening with the IRD counterparts and the rest of Dominica. So we would like to thank those brothers and sisters in the region because some of them also supplied relief to our staff, and we thank them for that. And I may forget one or two, but I mean it is worth mentioning the Revenue Authority of Barbados, the Inland Revenue of St. Lucia, Inland Revenue Grenada, and Inland Revenue St. Kitts. And we know that the communication with them, their hearts are with us, and they extend sympathy to all Dominica and wish that we recover in very quick time. Thank you.